Hi, so I'm finally getting round to filming my video all about my wedding. If you follow my blog, you'll see that I posted my blog post this week with all the photos and with like information about all the suppliers and everything. So I'll leave a link to that below if you haven't read it already. So let's go right back to the beginning. We got married on the 19th September this year and at a place called Wedderburn Castle and Barns, which is in Duns in the Scottish Borders. The night before we stayed at some cottages in the grounds. There was like 4 cottages in the grounds, so us and the wedding party all stayed there. And actually the night before we had like a little barbecue and some drinks and stuff at the cottage my parents were staying at. Me and Blair only joined it at like 9 o'clock at night though, because we were at the Barns with my florist, with the best men, and with some venue decorator people, basically finishing off the barn. So getting all of the lights put up and the paper decorations and putting out the flowers and all that stuff. So we were working till quite late on the Friday, but we did get to join the party for a little bit, and then we kind of left at about 11ish. So then we went back to our cottage and we stayed there. Got up early in the morning on the Saturday. Blair went off to the best men's cottage and my mum and sister came over about 8:30ish. I'd got them some gifts which I gave them, so I had got us matching pyjamas so we could get ready in the morning. They were from George Asda. I got my sister a bangle which matched the one I was going to wear on the day as well. It's from Not on the High Street. It's basically a bangle with a little heart on it, and then it's got a charm with a letter on it. So I've got an L, and then I gave her an N for Nicola. So then hair and makeup people came up at 9:30, and we went up to the bedroom, and I kind of let my mum and sister get done first. So my mum got her hair done and Nicola got her makeup done, and I just like sat back and relaxed with a glass of rosé champagne with cranberry juice in it, drinking cocktails at like 9:30 in the morning. And it was a really relaxed getting ready process. In fact, our photographer and videographer turned up at about 11ish, and they were both like, this is the most relaxed wedding party I've ever seen. We're just kind of sitting back, listening to some music, chatting away. For my hair, I went for like loose curls with like the top pinned up, and at the back I had some flowers in it. And for makeup, it was like a kind of subtle smoky eye. Had MAC cream cup lipstick and just like a peachy blush, quite similar to what I wear on a daily basis, which is what I have on my face right now, but just like, you know, a bit of a slightly fancier version. Same with my hair, you know, I wear my hair like this quite a lot, like pinned up a bit at the top, but again, it was just like a fancier version of what I normally look like. We're all finished by like 12:30ish, and the ceremony didn't start till 2:30. So again, you know, very relaxed. We're just sort of like, oh, we're all ready now, what we're gonna do. So my mum and sister went over to their cottage and had some lunch, and I just stayed at ours and just sat and watched TV. So I was like sitting on my own, very, very chilled out. The photographer and videographer came back at about 1:30, and that's when we then got dressed. So my dress is obviously one of the most exciting parts for me. I had known from the start that I wanted like a short sort of 50s style dress, and I found the ideal dress in Lady Jojo's in Edinburgh. So they specialise in that sort of short style of dress, and mine was called the Marilyn. And it was just, oh, it's so beautiful. I loved it. So in terms of the rest of the outfit, so on my feet I had some sandals actually. So I never wear heels, so there was no way that I was going to wear heels on my wedding day. I looked for ages trying to find shoes, and eventually found little kind of embellished sandals, and my sister got exactly the same one, so we had matching shoes. I also got us like glitter roller soles flats for wearing in the evening if our feet were sore. Ironically though, the roller soles were less comfortable than the sandals were, but I did still change into them in the evening because I was like, I've bought these shoes, I want to wear them. In the evening as well, I also changed up my makeup and put MAC Russian Red on my lips, so that I was kind of like ready to party. I've got my red lipstick on. And for jewellery, I've already showed you the bangle. I had a really delicate necklace as well, which I got from Etsy. It's got like a little L&B heart on it, so me and Blair's initials. So yeah, I kind of wanted to keep all the attention on the dress, so all of my accessories were very simple. So to the bridesmaid, Nicola wore a dress from Lipsy, which is mint with lace sort of embellished top to it. The dress is so nice, I love that dress. Like I said, she had the same bangle as me and the same shoes. The colour theme for the wedding was mixed pastels. So I only had one bridesmaid, she was in mint, but 2 best men and Blair obviously. They wore blue suits from Next with tan shoes and tan belts. They then had different coloured pastel ties and pocket squares. So Blair was in a light blue, and then the 2 best men, one was in mint and one was in lemon. My mum wore a light pink outfit, and then my dad had a pink tie to match her. So we kind of had lots of different shades of pastel through it, which was nice. So yeah, that's us all dressed. The ceremony was taking place in the castle, in this big ballroom. We had a humanist ceremony, so that meant that you could personalise your vows and personalise the whole ceremony really. So we had a lot of stories in there about how we met and, you know, things that we enjoyed doing together. There was quite a few funny moments in the ceremony, and one is that the humanist got my surname wrong twice. The first time she said it, she like said it wrong, and then we corrected her, and then she said it wrong again later, which was quite funny. But no one, don't need to worry, because that's no longer my surname, so no one has to learn that anymore. And also, the music that we were leaving to got mixed up. So the song that I arrived to was Wings by Birdie, the acoustic version, and we're supposed to be leaving to Don't Worry Baby by the Beach Boys. But I had set them up as two separate playlists on Spotify, and one of the best men who was in charge of pressing play kind of just pressed the wrong one, and it didn't work, but it didn't really matter. We just it just continued playing Birdie again, so we just left to that again. Didn't really care about little things like that going wrong. It really doesn't matter, and it made everyone laugh because we were like, that's not the right song. So I said like it was a personalised ceremony, so for our vows we kind of tried to get a mix of like funny and serious things in there, and like in mine I said things like I promise to not complain when you insist on watching the football every weekend. But then yeah, I also had things in there like I promise to tell you I love you every day and all that stuff. And in Blair's ones, his final line was that I promise to continue to nurture our shared appreciation of Ryan Gosling. There's not many people out there that can say that Ryan Gosling got mentioned in their wedding vows, unless you were marrying Ryan Gosling. And before the ceremony started, actually, we had left on everyone's seats a little piece of paper which was an L&B quiz. So we'd written basically a quiz about the two of us, and we thought it would keep people entertained while they're waiting for the ceremony to start. We had a prize for the winners, which we gave out at the reception. So a lot of the questions that were in the quiz were actually answered in the ceremony, which I hadn't really thought about when I wrote the quiz. So after the ceremony, which went really well, I like didn't really feel that nervous, because it's such a strange situation, you know, like walking down an aisle with everyone looking at you and then standing up the front and saying all these things. So I don't know, maybe part of me just kind of felt like this is just so strange that it doesn't actually feel like this is happening, so I didn't have time to feel nervous. But yeah, I felt fine about it. I was completely, like, I didn't cry or anything like that. I was just kind of really excited and happy that it was happening. So, like I said, I mentioned it earlier, a videographer, so the whole thing has been filmed, so I'm looking forward to watching it back because, you know, there's so many things that I can't fully remember. Like, I can't remember all of what happened in the ceremony, because it's just, everything goes by so fast and like a complete blur. So yeah, after the ceremony, we went out onto the lawn out the front of the castle. So luckily we had amazing weather. It was so sunny, because otherwise we would have had to have done everything inside. But it meant we could go out onto the lawn, and we got like group pictures and stuff taken out on the kind of gravelly bit, and then on the grass we'd laid out games for people. So there was like frisbee and like this kind of toss game thing, like our kind of group pictures taken at that point, so like the family photos, but the photographer took them kind of just off to the side, so it meant we weren't taken away anywhere. We kind of got our pictures taken and everyone else could stand and like watch it happening, which is nice, because sometimes you go to weddings and the couple are taken away completely for like an hour to get pictures done, whereas we kind of, everything that we did was still quite close to everyone else. So after we got those family pictures taken, we got some just the two of us. There was like this big massive tree, which is just off the lawn. We got a couple of pictures taken there, and some of them are our absolute favourites because just from a distance it looks amazing, like this just big massive tree. And our photographer actually had to like jump down into a ditch to take those photos, which is quite funny. So yeah, while we're out in the lawn, there's like canapes going around, and we also had a cocktail. Neither of us are fans of champagne or Prosecco, so we had gone for a cocktail instead. So it was apple with vodka and lemonade, and then there was also just an apple and lemonade version for people who didn't want to drink vodka at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. At that point, again, it's like a complete blur. I went around and spoke to loads of people, and at one point I was doing like an unintentional receiving line because everyone that was coming out, I was kind of stopping, giving them a hug. Yeah, one of those things that a couple of people that I've got married have said to me is just like, it's just an overwhelming like sense of love that day. Like everyone is just so happy for you, and you know, you're just constantly being complimented. Like everyone's telling you how amazing you look and how nice the ceremony was and how much they like the venue and stuff, and you're just like people just constantly saying nice things to you, which is quite weird, obviously in a good way, but yeah, it's just very bizarre just being like all this nice stuff happening. Yeah, so after the drinks reception, we walked to the barns, which were just kind of like 1 minute walk from the castle. And this was like the main selling point for us for the venue, because we wanted a barn venue, and this was just beautiful. Like, it has like an L-shaped barn, so there was one bit here which is where we had the meal, and then there's another bit here which is where we had our like disco in the evening, and then there's a courtyard in the middle where there was a fire at night time so people could go out and toast marshmallows. And it was just so lovely. I mean, it was basically like the Pinterest dream. Like, it looked amazing. And like I said, we'd gone for a mixed pastel theme, so we had lots of different pastel colour decorations everywhere. Another part of the theme was chevron stripes, so I'd had chevron stripes through like our invitations, and on any kind of stationery item basically at the wedding there was stripes on it. So the table name things, our favours were bags of pick and mix sweets, and they were in like little chevron bags, and yeah, just chevron stripes anywhere I could get them. And the final part of the theme for the reception, which we're both very excited about, was sitcoms. For both of us, TV is a big passion, and sitcoms are one of our favourite types of TV to watch. So we had named our tables after our favourite sitcom characters. So we had Alan Partridge, which was the top table, David Brent, Larry David, Malcolm Tucker, and Leslie Knope. So in case you don't know, the David Brent's The Office, Larry David's from Curb Your Enthusiasm, Malcolm Tucker is The Thick of It, and Leslie Knope is Parks and Recreation. They were the names of the tables, and then on those pick and mix favour bags, we had written quotes from each of the characters. So some of them were very, very sweary. I hadn't invited any children to the wedding, so it's fine. Hopefully no one was offended by the swearing. Another way we got the sitcom theme through the decor was in the room where the disco was. I'd created some posters for the walls which feature quotes from sitcoms that were related to music or dancing. I also had a poster that I'd created which was like sitting on a window ledge somewhere. I'd called it A Poem About Love by Ross Geller, but it's basically that speech that Ross does in Friends, where he's talking about, where he's really, really drunk and he's talking about love. So it's like, L is for life, for what is life without love? O is for, oh wow. And another Friends thing as well was that I'd made signs for the toilets, which had like ladies, and it was a picture of the 3 girls, and then gents, which had a picture of the 3 guys. And another thing as well, so I mentioned that we had that L&B quiz. So for the prize, I'd created a sitcom themed goodie bag. So it had like some money to spend behind the bar, but then also it had a mini stapler encased in a bowl of jelly, which is from The Office. It had a chocolate orange in a superficially damaged box, which is from I'm Alan Partridge. And it had the pièce de résistance, the Geller cup from Friends. So if you're a Friends fan, you'll know what I mean. I basically bought a troll doll off eBay, and then I nailed it to a piece of wood and wrote the Geller cup on it. That has to be the weirdest wedding task surely that anyone has ever done. I was sitting there like 2 days before the wedding, like nailing this onto the piece of wood, just like, why am I doing this? This is really weird. So the winners of the quiz were Kirsty, my blogger friend, who you'll have seen in a couple of videos, read about in my blog, and her boyfriend, Adam. And I'm really pleased they won, actually, because they understood what all of those references were. Because I think there's some people, if they'd won, they would have been like, why have I got some jelly with a stapler in it? I don't understand this. So it was kind of ideal that they won because they got all of the jokes, and we didn't look just like weirdos. So yeah, at the reception, we didn't have like an MC there kind of introducing us into the room or like introducing the speeches or anything. So I kind of took on that role and I introduced the speeches, which was quite good fun. So everyone had been really, really nervous about their speeches beforehand. Like, I knew my dad wasn't looking forward to it, and the best men were really nervous as well. But everyone did really, really well. Like, you could not tell that they were nervous at all. My dad had like a couple of bits where like my mum got involved as well, which is quite funny. Like little jokes that they did. And yeah, the best men stories were really, really funny. There's some things that I didn't know about Blair already, which were really funny. And then Blair's speech was lovely as well. Like, again, it's one of those things where I can't remember all of it though, and I really can't wait to watch the video back. Because yeah, he said like so many really, really nice things, but then there was also like funny bits in it as well. I really enjoyed that bit. For our meal, we had gone for a hog roast. So it was basically like pork with like crackling and stuffing. There was garlic and rosemary roast potatoes and seasonal veg as well. It was a bit of a risky choice, you know, like it's much safer to go for something like chicken at a wedding where most people will like it. But we kind of mentioned on the invitations. There was a hog roast, so said like if you have any dietary requirements or if you don't want this, then let us know. So we had like a vegetarian option as well, which was pasta with mozzarella and tomato mozzarella. For the dessert, I really wanted to do like a dessert table so that everyone had lots of different choices. A couple of things from the M&S like food service. So we got macarons, mini cupcakes and mini cheesecakes. And then I made a couple of different tray bakes, which were amazing, by the way. Like, I kind of want to make one right now. I made little fruit kebabs with marshmallows in there as well. I made vodka jelly shots, and we had like a make your own eat and mess station. So it was basically like a bowl of berries, a plate of mini meringues, and then we had like squishy cream. So basically the Thursday before the wedding, I spent the entire day in the kitchen making stuff. Like, I wish I'd kind of taken pictures or something on the day because the place was just covered in chocolate. I ended up having to send Blair out for more chocolate at one point because I was like, I've completely underestimated how much I need for this. We needed like 2 kilograms of chocolate. It was crazy, but it was really good fun, and everyone, like, again, kind of commented on how nice the desserts were and stuff, so it was definitely worth it. So yeah, after the meal, we cut our cake. We had gone for quite a simple decorated cake, so it was just a buttercream icing on the outside and had little bunting on the top. We'd go for 3 different flavours of the layers. So we had vanilla sponge, we had chocolate, and we had red velvet. So the cake was served later on, maybe like 8, 9 o'clock, I can't really remember, along with some tea and coffee and hot rolls, which was like the ideal thing when it's like halfway through the night and you're flagging a little bit. So there was like bacon, sausage, black pudding and egg rolls. Oh, it was just so good. I had a bacon roll and it was amazing. Like I said, we had a disco. Neither of us are fans of Kayleys, even though we're Scottish. It's a very un-Scottish wedding. There was no kilts worn by the wedding party. There was no piper. Our first dance was to a song by the Bees, which is called I Love You. Our second song was You Make My Dreams by Hall & Oates, because I was like, everyone will hopefully start getting up and dancing at that point if we put that one on. But yeah, the music on the night was great. In our invitation, we asked people what song was guaranteed to get you up on the dance floor. So we had like quite a big list of requests. But then we'd also just said like we want it to be kind of like a journey through the decade, like some 70s and 80s, quite a lot of 90s, early noughties, and then a bit of like recent stuff as well. But it was so good. Like, it was such a cheesy disco. It was amazing. We had lots of Five, we had Taylor Swift, we had Adam Rickett. It was played at one point because it's one of the best men's favourite songs. What else? Like Spice Girls, just Girls Aloud, like just everything. Like so much cheesy music. It was amazing. It was a good mix of stuff, and there was like a couple of people that were up all night on the dance floor that were amazing, that kept everyone going. But we also had, you know, the other room, people were able to just still sit there, and if you wanted to chat, rather than like being in with the loud music the whole time. And then we had the fire outside, so you can go out and toast some marshmallows. It was just really, really nice. Like, I enjoyed just kind of going around and speaking to different people, and then going up and dancing, and then going out for a little bit, and then coming back. And it was just really, felt really relaxed. I didn't feel pressured to like make sure that I spoke to every single person. And that's one thing I would say to like people that are getting married soon is like, don't let yourself be pressured by that. You know, like, enjoy yourself and don't worry like, oh, I've not spoken to this person yet. Like, if they really want to speak to you, they will come and find you and speak to you. So just relax and enjoy yourself, because it is all about you. Really, it's about you and your husband, and you just kind of need to make sure you enjoy yourself, and we definitely did. Our last song of the night was Power of Love by Frankie Goes to Hollywood, which for a while was going to be our first dance song, but then we changed it to the last dance song. And before that, the kind of second last one was 500 Miles by the Proclaimers. So like, we had everyone round us in a circle, and that was really good fun. Then it was over before you knew it, really. Lights were up. The best men had bought out the entire bar contents because they were hoping for an after party that didn't happen because everyone had to get coaches back to Edinburgh. So they were like standing with these boxes of all this alcohol, like, who's coming back to our cottage? And I was like, no one's going back to your cottage because they all need to go back into Edinburgh. Like, they can't get home otherwise. So that was quite funny. Then yeah, we all kind of like retreated back to our cottages, and yeah, that was it. It was over. Like, it went so fast. I knew it was going to go fast. You know, everyone that I know that's got married had told me it'll go really, really fast, but it totally did. Like, when we're back in the cottage again, I was like, I can't believe that's it finished. Like, that I was here this morning getting ready, and that feels like it was ages ago, but at the same time it feels like it was 5 minutes ago. It's really bizarre, but it was just such a good day. Obviously we've had all our photos back because you'll have just seen loads of them, but we'll get our video back soon as well, and I can't wait to watch that and just relive it all and probably watch it like every week for the rest of my life. But no, it was great. I really loved it. So like I said, if you want to find out about all the suppliers that we use and everything, have a look at that blog post, and there'll be links to everybody. So that is it. That is our wedding. I hope you enjoyed hearing about it. And yeah, if you're getting married soon, I'm very jealous that you've got that all to come because I loved it so much. The whole planning process, everything leading up to it was so much fun. So yeah, and just enjoy it because it goes so fast. Thank you for watching, and I know this has been a very long video, so thank you for persevering to the end if you have. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye.